Yo, what's going on? I am playing Cyberpunk 2077 at a cafe in Oregon, and I just wanted to talk to you guys while I have the gameplay in the back because this is the first time that I actually played a video game inside of the cafe. Maybe not the first time, but this is the first time I actually decided to try to record it so I can start getting closer and closer to streaming wherever I am. Now, I am trying to exemplify the life of cyberpunk in reality, and one way I'm doing that is obviously doing whatever I want, but also just just playing video games wherever there's internet connection. Because at the end of the day, like everything is becoming unaffordable, and I think we're gonna see a reality where people are just gonna be a little more comfortable in public spaces, such as me playing video games at a cafe. Luckily, this was at like 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. at night when I actually was playing the game, so it was fairly busy at first, but then it died down. All of the students were here studying and whatnot. But I, I also want to let you guys know that there is a dinosaur right next to me in the webcam with a party hat. I did that because there was someone in the background that I just did not want to include in the video. Not because I wanted to respect his privacy, but it's just he did not give out the drip that I thought he had initially, so he just got escorted out with a dinosaur with real drip. Anyways, I do want to talk to you guys about what is it called? Neuromancer. Neuromancer is a book that inspired the cyberpunk movement. Not the entire cyberpunk movement, but it did lay some foundation to the whole cyberpunk theme of life. Because at this point in time, it's not really just a game or a book or whatever. It's a genre of life. And I think we're in times where we need to give it more respect as a genre because take this for example, CD Projekt Red has been a part of animations and video games and music that all serve purpose to enhance the cyberpunk reality. Now here's just the game, right? They're already working on the second Cyberpunk, but they also have worked on they work on The Witcher and other good games such as that. But they have expanded themselves to become one of the top game producers or whatever that exist. And what was most interesting about it is that they have dedicated locations for dedicated games and
Interesting.
videos or whatever. Trying to think of the word animations, whatever. So they have dedicated projects from at dedicated locations, and that is so interesting to me because they are this game. No, not this game. The anime Edge Runners came out of Poland, I believe. It was a story from Poland that someone adapted, but the next Cyberpunk game is being produced in Maryland, I believe, or Massachusetts, somewhere on the East Coast, and they wanted to make sure that it has more American elements to the game itself. Because get this is the part that really like threw me for a spin. Cyberpunk is being not attacked, but like presented to humanity in different angles, such as the Japanese, the European, and the American, which really opened my eyes to start looking at every media around cyberpunk and just futuristic sci-fi as different lenses that exist, and that we really should be paying attention to that because they're all predicting a reality in the future from their own world. And some of us have the privilege to travel internationally and really get a taste of what that looks like, but there's a lot of people in this world that don't even get the chance to leave their own city, country, or whatever. So really kind of it made me just think of how everyone's going to approach the future differently, but at the same time, we are, as a humanity, finally approaching a future with some similar steps where we are all connected via the internet. And it's just becoming interesting on how we're starting to approach that. Now, Neuromancer has already created a reality where the entire world was kind of on the same page. Like, for example, corporations. Big corporations run the world. And in this game, Arasaka is the big corporation that has a lot of say. Such as in the video right now, I am about to infiltrate an Arasaka base because the guy next to me, I forgot his name, Tanaka or some shit, he is helping me infiltrate for his own reasons. I don't remember the reasons because I've been playing this game on and off, and I wish I had played it all the way through, but Arasaka is the same company that is inspired by Neuromancer. And Neuromancer is a different name for the actual corporation that is like running a big part of the world. And the corporations are pretty much hiring mercenaries to infiltrate the other corporations so that they can have an upper hand on everything. This game and Edge Runners, the anime, has so many similar. It obviously drew inspiration from Neuromancer. It really has. Like after reading the book, I've really enjoyed rewatching the anime, but also playing the game, just because it's like now I can see where the foundation is. So now it's a greater story for me to like really get involved in, knowing where it comes from. The next book that I have on my list to read is Do Androids Sleep of Electric Sheep. And that book supposedly inspired Blade Runner. And it came out, I think, about the same time as Neuromancer. I can't remember which one came out first, but they both talk about cyberpunk in very similar ways. Maybe one inspired the other, maybe not, but Neuromancer, I guess, was the first. Yeah, I think it was the first book to actually create a cyberpunk world. Really create the digiscape that exists. That Cyberpunk 2077 and Edge Runners really showed us, where people can like be net runners, where they can go into the digital realm and just do whatever it is they need to do to complete the mission or whatever. So that's kind of on my list, and I'm trying to finish these little Easter eggs of where everything started from because I wanted to understand where Cyberpunk comes from more so than I did prior, because I realize now how ignorant I was, because Cyberpunk has been given so much attention from really smart people. I don't think they were trying to predict the future, but they were trying to mold a possible reality that we as humans are going to experience that they might not be able to see. But because they created this at the beginning of the internet, like this was 1960s, late 1960s, early 1970s when all of this was popping off. And then, I mean, 1990s really came back, especially with how much internet we were accessing. The 2000s, obviously, is just like a whole manifestation of everything they really predicted. And it's been a snowball effect ever since, obviously. What I find kind of interesting is that we kind of take notes or just take from the past of the internet because it's accessible. Not like other parts of history isn't accessible, but why why is it in 2026 we already feel so burnt out and like out of ideas and are going back 20 years of the internet and seeing, I don't know, just feeling nostalgic obviously, but also just going back to that time for evolution or like aesthetics and whatever everybody wants to access that time for. Why are we going back and not forward? Like, even just looking at this game. This game is a projection of the future, where this is what they kind of see in a way that we get to experience now as a game, but this is definitely not some things they took from the past besides Neuromancer or whatnot, but they like just elevated it into the future. Like, look at all this. Like, I can scan, and like, if you really think about what that means, scanning and injecting into a corporation's intranet slash internet, because it's all connected digitally and being able to control things in a matter of seconds. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's a possible reality that we're gonna live in. And this is the type of missions that people are gonna go on that is gonna dictate what happens in the future. Like in real time, we're gonna have a huge effect on what happens in a day-to-day future timeline base. Because like if you know, hypothetically, if I fail this mission, that means that Arasaka is going to conquer the world in the way that they're trying to conquer it. But obviously, in this video game, I have to infiltrate the system and just get an upper hand and, you know, just give humanity or... Yeah, I think it is for humanity. I don't really know how this game goes, but I'm assuming it's for the better of humanity. And it's just like, wow, like all of these tools are at our disposal, but at the same time, it's combining the importance of being human. And for example, here I still have the option to shoot people and shoot things down. It's just a combination of the technology that we can use, but also our bodily functions and how good we are as people to survive and thrive and whatnot. So I really like what they did with this game, but it's also they took time to really curate some details, especially with the fashion. I'm actually low-key obsessed with the fashion, and I created my own little jacket. That maybe I'll post a little picture here, but I have it on my social media on Instagram, and I'm trying to do a whole thing where I'm blending the cyberpunk reality that I like and see, just trying to bring it into the present time without being too corny, in a sense where it's like, obviously we are not at the point where we can hack things at will and we have technology and like what is that called, like cybernetics running through our veins and shit. Like, we're not there yet, and I'm not trying to be something that I'm not, you know. But I do like the fashion of cyberpunk where you kind of say, fuck what the norm is. I'm gonna do what I want to do, because at the end of the day, like, we don't even control our own reality. We don't. Like, it's everything is data. It's database for something. Like, there's cookies everywhere that we've left and have been taken advantage of. And we're at a time right now where we're finally getting our freedom back in terms of like our digital footprint. But it's way too damn late. Like, all of these companies already have all of our data as humans, and they've already compiled what they're gonna do, and they have AI to help them do what they want to do. So, like, what's the point of even following the norm now? Because following the norm is literally actively choosing to be a bot. At this point, is how I see it. And I think that's why cyberpunk, the word, is so interesting to me, because it's literally like accepting the fact that the digital realm exists and is heavily thriving, and but you're still deciding to not be a victim of it. Like, that's where the punk comes in, where you just rebel against it. So, bringing everything back to reality, I currently live the RV slash van life, but I converted my van into a music studio slash creator studio. My plan is to drive down to Los Angeles and just live my life there, because I do feel like Los Angeles is where I'm supposed to be in terms of how I'm living my life. And honestly, I can see why it would be optimal, especially living the way I do, because even the weather itself is just much more sustainable than Portland or Arizona, which is where the two places that I've spent a lot of time. So I'm gonna be heading down to LA, but also just the fact that LA is such a huge creator place. Like, there's just so many creators, like many different types of creators, and they all kind of take it seriously. Obviously, just it's a huge community pool of creators of different types. Like, I definitely stay in the music side of life. I am starting to tap into the fashion side, but not really in a way that is very popular. Like, I'm just doing my own thing. But I also do enjoy playing video games, and I do want to start streaming so I can tie all of these worlds together and just bring it into reality, and just one step at a time paint my own colors and pictures and noises into this world, so that when I do depart, like, I left a stamp, you know, where people I love and friends and family can kind of see like what I did, because I do believe that this internet Web 2 is gonna go away at some point, or it's gonna be kind of like in a museum. Like, I think we're just gonna have quantum processing where the internet we have today, which is causing so many issues in terms of data centers and everything, it's just not really gonna be a problem in the future because we're gonna figure out quantum processing and quantum computers and all of that jazz so that it only takes maybe a room full of servers or some shit just because like Web 2 really is a dinosaur compared to even just what they're showing right here. Just this access of intelligence and data and computing where it's just unreal. But once we get to that point, I feel like is when everybody's going to realize how far we've come with technology, and I don't really want to wait for people. I'm at the point where I'm just like, you know what? I'll do my own research, I'll do my own lessons, my own teaching, and my own decisions in life, but following what the crowd is doing is just definitely not going to be it for me because I feel like we're being controlled in a way, we're being directed to follow a flow that I don't agree with. And unfortunately, we are stuck in this reality, in this real world where there's real consequences with real people. Not that it's always bad, but it's definitely not going in a way that I want it. And you know, actually, now that I remember, it's 3/3/2026 right now. And that's significant because we just had the blood moon lunar eclipse. Oh.
Oh, Cyberpunk. Oh shoot, is that the one you showed me?
The game or the
The game that showed you this?
a little bit, but yeah, internet's great. I look back at this conversation and I'm just like, wow, that's all I have to say. Is internet is great. But yeah, Briss is really cool. That's kind of what's interesting about doing what I do out in the coffee shops, because like now I have so many friends who are baristas, and it really does like improve my life. Just because we become such great friends, and it really made my experience in Portland better to have so many friends that are baristas. It's just like one benefit after another. But going back to Cyberpunk, I really like how this game implemented so much spiritual stuff. For example, like you can go around the game and like find these tarot cards that look dope as fuck, but it's also just combining humanity with technology in a way that just it's just realistic in my opinion. And I'm excited for the next game to come out just because it obviously it's if it's anything like this game, it's gonna be dope as fuck. But I think they're trying to expand it. They're supposedly gonna hold the environment in Chicago, but they're trying to also bring multiple cities into it. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I know that it has been confirmed that it will be in Chicago's or just United States in general. But a really big topic that I think I really want to focus on in life and in general, even just my experience here online, is just figuring out how to be as cyberpunk as possible without it being too try hard. I think that's my biggest thing is I love introducing new ideas into the world, and I love when new ideas are introduced to the world by other mediums of like fashion, art, and video games. But I feel like there's just a very prominent line between things being like corny and things being cool.
Well, do you have any thoughts?
Cyberpunk looks really cool as a video game, as an idea, as a book.
Oh, stop.
Like it's really dope. But I think it falls short when it comes to fashion, and that's just my personal opinion.
Oh, I see you've already played out this conversation on your own.
Because
Force of habit.
I think
I did though.
when you're trying, like, what's the point of?
I can sit here with you all
It's
night.
like playing pretend. I think that's the best way that I can
I think I like
really
that.
describe it, which I understand in a way needs to happen. But for me, it's like if
You have no idea
things
how much I
don't
needed that.
have real world value or use, then it's almost like
How's it going,
a
Frog?
waste of time.
It's going. Knock on wood.
So things are
And
settled?
I know For it's now, we're not here the to avoid best each way other, to and that's think fine with me. about in that sense. But at the same time, it's like,
The
why
complications we
would
can't
I wear So far, so good. They sent another patrol around the station. 3 But the layers rough of and the down area via clothing anti-commons guards. to Station's look proprietors sticking to that cool version. So we're in covered for now. LA when it's like always hot? Like that just would it just doesn't make sense to me. Like we need to figure out a way to be cyberpunk in a way that complements the environment you're in, not just because you want to dress it, just to dress it. And It's been a long like, day. that's fine too, but like not everybody's gonna be comfortable with that in the sense that there's other areas that are gonna have more value for that. We have officially reached the end of this. I'm gonna let you look at my girl here, Pan. It's my girl. It's my online girlfriend. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I hope that we connect a little more on Cyberpunk.